the desert of the real.
Welcome to the Desert of the Real. I am your host, Ryan Hudson, and joined with me, as always, someone who has some unresolved issues twixt him and his twice-cursed pirate father.
Jason Deeds.
The Desert of the Real is a movie podcast where I forced Jason to watch big blockbuster movies that he's refused to watch because he didn't think they were worth his time. In fact, we were just talking to someone, similar mindset. They're like, why watch this movie if I think I can predict it?
Correct.
I think there's some fallacies in there.
I've already seen it 100 times with 100 different actors.
We are going to get into that idea immediately after the intro.
Excellent. We should move in that direction, man.
You don't like when I stop and talk to you. We are currently watching the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And we're here to see if this movie has anything deep to say. We are two English language arts high school teachers, and we attempt to use our academic training to dig deeply into movies. We explore the creativity, philosophy, film studies, and ethics in our films and push you, the listener, to think critically about your entertainment. We love that you are here. We love you.
We do.
If you have not done so, if you would give us a 5-star review or a share or a follow on wherever you are listening to.
And share us with somebody else that you might think would enjoy our ramblings about movies and the crappy ones that Ryan picks.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Although this one wasn't crappy as some of the ones that you picked.
Dear listener, there was once upon a time where Dietz said all the Pirates movies are just the same. And I have kind of been looking forward to this exact moment.
They are kind of.
To what about this one is similar to the first one? Because the first one we talked about, we love the first one. In fact, we both gave it 5 stars.
Indeed.
I called it a perfect movie.
You did.
This one's not perfect, but
No.
I still really like it.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
But I also think it's vastly different than the
I
first
disagree.
one. Well, can you explain your thoughts? Now is the time.
I don't think that it is vastly different. That's my thought.
This is what
Which pirate movie is this?
Okay.
We start out opening with these two lover beings, and some event happens that separates them and causes them to go away from each other, which causes anxiety and stress. And so they go on the quest to try and find the other person. Meanwhile, a perma-drunk, is that what you called him?
Yeah.
Pirate shows up. Doesn't really do much, but he's funny and handsome. He has his own agenda.
Yes.
And he uses these star-crossed lovers and other people to get his thing done.
Uh-huh.
Unbeknownst to the audience and to the two star-crossed lovers, there is a mythical creature of some sort that's pissed off at this pirate and is bent on doing crap to this pirate. And so, as this pirate, whose name happens to be Jack Sparrow, pursues getting out of whatever crap it is that he's in, he puts these two lovebirds in various precarious situations in which they almost die but don't die. And at the end, surprisingly enough, Jack Sparrow, against all odds, pulls off whatever it is that he was trying to pull off. The end.
He does
Which Pirates movie was that?
Okay. So I see kind of where you're coming from, but
Same movie.
this movie would only work if we knew these characters to begin with. Like, this is like
Right.
it's the classic sequel thing. Like, what do we want from a sequel? What makes a good sequel? It's like building, it's expanding, it's you know, it's kind of like A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back. I think this is a similar comparison, Where are our guys? Well, they were about to get
Wait, you're
married.
comparing this movie to Empire
Strikes Back. Yeah.
No.
Like,
No, you
here's
cannot.
the thing. Jack would not work in this movie.
Empire
if we-
Strikes Back is a vastly different movie than Star Wars. This is not a vastly different movie
I
than
feel like
Pirates.
this one is vastly different. So, for example, some key differences.
Okay.
Elizabeth.
Jack does not win.
Yeah.
I should have stopped right before that. I admit that.
When.
Jack gets 8.
Yeah. He does.
So the last 5 minutes of this movie are different.
Did you remember that happened?
No, I don't. I only ever saw this once.
When it came out in theaters.
Around then, yeah.
I like the key difference being Elizabeth, instead of being kidnapped, she is now choosing to go on an adventure, and she is changing as a character. Like, but it's picking up where we left off.
How does she change?
She literally kills Jack Sparrow. She gets
Kind
to the
of.
point where it's like, I need to do this for me, and it's like it's a thing where like Jack Kenny, he's like proud of her almost.
So
It's like,
because
you're thinking like a pirate
so
now.
because she chains him to the thing, this is a vastly different movie. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that's the key difference of choosing to go on an adventure versus being kidnapped and.
Okay, but let's be honest about
Okay.
the first Pirates movie.
Okay.
She was not that upset about going on an adventure.
Right.
So I think the choosing thing is being given a little bit too much weight in your argument.
Sure, that's fair.
Because I think if someone in whatever the first one was called, the Black Pearl, right?
Mhm.
If someone had said, "Hey, you want to come?" She probably would have been like, "Marry this stiff, boring guy, go on a pirate adventure." She would have gone.
Yeah.
Not a difference.
The other thing, though, about Jack Sparrow, for one thing, there is maybe a flaw that they are writing Jack Sparrow like he's Jack Sparrow.
Yes, that was my number one complaint for this movie.
Because the first movie, that's not the case. Johnny Depp, he got that performance. He turned it into Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
So from here on out, we had like, oh, I know what Jack Sparrow's like.
Right.
But that wasn't.
They just need to give him the reins and let him.
Yeah.
you know.
But
Yeah.
Jack is interesting because I don't know if people would like Jack Sparrow if it wasn't for the first movie. If this was like where we picked up somehow, like say, oh, let's watch.
Yeah.
Like Jack as a character, he doesn't know what he wants. That's his whole thing in this movie. He's aimless. He doesn't know what to do with himself.
Right.
Like he's got goals, but a lot of those goals, instead of like, oh, I wanted the Black Pearl, it's I'm going to die.
I want to not die.
I wanna not die. And I think it
what is he
scares him.
torn between? Not dying and what else? I never understood that at all in this movie.
I think it's just to live.
Right. He wants to live.
Okay, so the dead man's chest. Everyone wants the chest. It's the MacGuffin of the story.
Sure.
Sure. Jack wants to be a pirate forever. That's why he wants the chest.
Okay.
And I
Well,
think
what's the other thing that he wants? That was my second biggest problem with this movie. Because when Elizabeth has the thing, we know what she's torn between. Although I don't actually believe that she wants Jack Sparrow, but whatever.
Uh-huh.
So we get hers. I couldn't tell you at all what the other thing was that he wanted.
I think it's shown in the scene where he's leaving the Kraken attack, and he has to make a specific choice. Like, do I want
survive or
like have
be a
like
good guy?
be a good person type of thing? Maybe
Okay.
there's
Maybe.
something there.
Okay, how many times have you seen this movie?
A number of times.
Okay, and you've seen it a number of times, and you're like, maybe that's the other one. That's a problem.
I don't know. I think just the fact Jack is he doesn't know what he wants in life. I think that's a universal feeling that it works. We don't need to be told options necessarily. It's like,
But there's no if we don't understand what he's torn between, there's no drama there. We can't be with him. We can't feel what he's feeling. And so in the first movie, that was I think pretty close to perfect. Like, we knew what was driving him. We could see him being torn between, his friendships or loyalties and the thing that he wants. Here, I have no idea.
This is what the Google says.
Okay.
Jack is torn between his self-preservation and his desires for freedom, rum, and a legendary treasure, which makes his
that's not torn. No.
Which makes his Davy Jones curse compass spin erratically.
See, that's
he wants
dumb.
to escape his debt from Davy Jones, but he also wants the riches and power associated with the debt.
Those are not mutually exclusive
leading
things.
to their indecision and confusion.
Google's wrong. Or Google's an apologist or whatever. Those are not mutually exclusive. He wants to live so he can be a pirate. Those are the same goal. Anyhow, carry on.
Let's back up a little bit.
Right.
Let's rewind the clock. Hit the rewind button.
Okay.
It's
1985.
Jason is a young boy.
I'm a young boy in second grade.
He's picking up Treasure Island for the first time.
Treasure Island. I read that so much. Anyhow, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on pirates in general?
They're interesting. Like, their motivations are interesting. I have a hard time understanding people that are motivated by riches.
Did you know what I learned recently? The difference between a pirate and a buccaneer.
No. Buccaneers are legal?
They're legal, but they were pirates.
Yeah.
They're with a paper that said, I can...
Right, that's what they were offering Jack in this movie.
See, I think that's super interesting because it's like...
So
that's not freedom to Jack.
Right. That would have been interesting if he was torn between that and true freedom.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He barely... I don't know. Did he even ever see the things? The papers?
Yeah, there's one moment where he reads them and he sticks his tongue out. So it's fair to say the first movie was very successful.
Yes.
Almost immediately, give us 2 more.
Okay.
And then for one, they had to make a decision. The writers, they had to be like, are we doing a Star Wars or are we doing an Indiana Jones? Meaning, are we going to do
5 movies or 9 movies?
No, because it's 5 movies. Meaning, are we going to do standalone adventures, or are we going to be a continuous story?
Okay.
And everyone chooses Star Wars, basically.
I mean, it's not a bad choice, I don't think.
So these 2 movies were written back to back and filmed back to back. That's the important thing.
Okay.
And Gore Verbinski, he talks about the first movie. It was just kind of like this thing of creation. Let's do this thing. But the second movie, they had deadlines. It's like, this movie needs to be done by this date to come out. It was different than the first movie. Now they had specific goals that had to be done by. However, I was listening to a different podcast about this movie, and she makes the argument, this is the last movie that will ever be like this. Because this movie, huge budget, crazy big, expensive. Second movie is too, but this movie, so much of it is just filmed practically, and now you won't get that anymore. That island they go to with all the people, they built roads to get vehicles places. They built a cell phone tower to make it more workable. The island was not ready for the crew of filming on this movie. People couldn't even stay on the island. People were on neighboring islands, and because the island wasn't big enough.
Wow.
So much of it was on sets. They built a Black Pearl. They built a Flying Dutchman that could were ships, basically. So much that is really there. So much in the production. Let alone the money that goes into the special effects.
Right.
Incredible. Davy Jones and his crew look amazing.
So the crew is not practical, the crew CGI?
They're motion captured. So they invented something for this movie, as opposed to what they would normally do on a sound stage, act it here, then we'll put it in the movie there. They were on the sets, and they're wearing it looks like stripy gray pajamas, and
wow.
So that was the first time for this movie, for any movie. It's let's have an actor with all the actors in real costumes. But
so that's impressive, because I thought they were in costumes.
No, that's all CGI.
That's impressive.
In fact, if you see any of the behind the scenes, Bill Nighy, who's
Right. I know he was.
He wears he's got green makeup around his mouth and his eyes. It's like just in case we need to use the real mouth and eyes. They ended up not even using that basically, but he still had to walk around.
Yeah, he is phenomenal.
Yes.
In this. So one of the big pros so far of this series is the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're over the top, like in terms of creativity, in terms of how they look. They're like his speech pattern.
Yeah.
Is so unique and interesting. How he always like bites off the ends of his sentences, and
you are neither dead nor dying.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
so good.
He apparently they're like, can you do a Dutch accent? And he's like, no, but I can do a Scottish one. They're like, okay. Okay, so a fun fact here, because it ties into the next movie too, but the Flying Dutchman, the Kraken, and Davy Jones, and then later in the next movie they bring in a like Calypso as a concept. These mythological creatures had never been connected before this movie.
Right. Well, yeah.
So like Davy Jones was its own thing. The Flying Dutchman was its own thing. The Kraken was its own thing. And this movie is just like, they're all here now. Let's all use these. And it works and it's fun. It's kind of like arguably we all own the myths because public domain, you know?
Sure.
No one has the legal rights to a specific myth or something. But I love how they let's just put this in, bring this in, even though that had never happened before this movie.
That is cool. Cool. So there's a lot of creativity in this movie. Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
Not to take but like I said before, it's the plot that's the problem. The main problem I had was what you said at the start. Like Jack Sparrow's acting like Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
A lot of his lines are just they land flat because it's like, oh, I see you're trying to.
Yeah.
Like the one I wrote down was, why is the rum always gone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. No.
They
just give Johnny Depp the reins and let him run.
Yeah. That's what I was as a sequel, there are a few callbacks that I think don't work. Like that's one I think gets overused.
Yeah. Although I did like, well, a little later on when it wasn't quite so telegraphed.
It's bad at the beginning, then I think it gets down.
Oh yeah, you notice that too. So like by mid movie, it feels like they either relaxed their clamp on Johnny Depp or the changed writers or something.
So the writers, they started the movie, the script wasn't done. Oh. In fact, the director and like Gore Verbinski, he's like, they were just coming up with things like, what if there was a giant squid monster attack, and like things in the other in the third movie too. And then it's like, all right, now how do we get to this point? They were making the movie before they knew the script, because apparently at a certain point, tickets to fly home for the crew were purchased. Like it was about to be like ended because things weren't working like they should. It was getting really expensive. There's a couple hurricanes that also delayed things and made things expensive, stuff like that. But this is how successful this one was. This was the first movie ever to make 100 million in 2 days. It was breaking records. It made 55 million in its first day. It had at the time the highest opening weekend ever.
Wow. And
this was only the third movie in history to make $1 billion.
Cool. I think that says more about Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
You're not wrong. But like the thing is, I think we forget now because now we've had 5 more Star Wars movies and the entire MCU. It's hard to kind of remember where culture was in the early 2000s or mid 2000s at this point. Like, for example, Barbossa comes back.
Yeah.
Now it feels trite, whatever. But
I actually liked it.
I do too, but it's like, oh, this is before X, Y, and Z superhero movies where characters also don't die type of thing. You know what I mean?
Wait, I thought it was them fixing that coin thing that we talked about last week.
What do you mean?
Like how Jack shoots him before the coin is in the box. I thought that's how they brought him back. Because Jack shoots him, he's immortal still, so he's like faking being dead or whatever. And then Orlando Bloom's, whatever his name is, drops it in.
I don't
That's
know.
how I read that. If that's not what it meant, then it's lame.
The movie, Barbossa is bleeding from his heart. It's like, how do you fake bleeding to death? Anyway.
If he was dead, he's got to stay dead.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you just ruined it for me. Why does facts have to get in the way of a good story?
Were you wondering where the monkey being undead came from?
Oh, that's another. That I wasn't, but now that you mention it,
there's a post-credit scene for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
after the credits, you see the monkey
takes a
swimming and picks up a coin and turns into a skeleton, and then goes rah at the camera.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
There's a post-credit scene for this movie too.
I didn't watch it.
It's the dog sitting on the throne with the cannibals, and that's it.
Because all native people are stupid, I guess.
Just for
that, I didn't like that all of that with the natives either, but that's okay.
Just to put a cap on that other thought.
Sorry.
The other two movies that made $1 billion was Titanic and then Return of the King. Now, lots of movies make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the 4-minute mile. Once somebody broke it, everybody breaks it. I mean, I personally have not, but, lots of people did. I don't like breaking the fourth wall in this movie. They only do it once when Jack's functionally a shish kebab on that island.
Oh, he looks at the camera.
Yeah. If you're going to break the fourth wall, it can't just be like one time. You have to...
No, I think if it's one time, it's even better. Okay. I think
it's fine.
This isn't a good comparison at all because it's the Hobbit movies, but in all 3 Hobbit movies, a CGI thing is thrown at the camera and bounces off. I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun thing.
Okay, it's fine.
Or he's just maybe Jack
just happened to look that way. I don't like the love triangle because
it's more like a love quad triangle, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I guess. Right. I don't like Jack being in it. I feel like that was a bad choice.
Here's the thing I think about that. I think Jack is just naturally attracted to all women that he finds attractive.
Sure.
And I think what's interesting about it is I think Elizabeth is surprised it's kind of working for her for a little bit of the movie.
Okay.
But I don't know if I would say Jack is like, oh, she's the one.
Yeah.
There is a deleted scene which is fun, but I'm glad they took it out. It's when the 3 of them are sword fighting, and Norrington's like, "You just want Elizabeth for yourself," and he says black or like pot kettle black or something like that.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's a fun Jack Sparrowy line, however it is, but I'm glad that the movie didn't double down, like saying Jack's in love with her.
Yeah, I guess it could have been worse then. So the third biggest issue I have, which you thought was dumb, but the whole water wheel.
Okay,
I get that it's fun. I get that it's whatever, but it goes like if it was just like we rolled down the hill on the wheel while we were fighting, great. But it goes on and on and on and on, and I feel like it breaks the logic of the movie. it's obvious this would never happen in real life. It's not possible. Everything else, given the logic of the movie, works just fine. It's just that one thing. And I don't know why they did it. Because
you know what? Okay, this is ridiculous, Deets. Okay, this says Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. You have all of these moments, these crazy, insane moments.
Like what?
These huge
name
set pieces.
One.
Okay, let me just name them all because there's
them all.
These moments that just are so crazy, ludicrous, and huge. It's like, look at this movie. Like, I forgive faults for this movie because of scenes like this. It's like, well, at least they gave me one of the most movie things I've ever seen in my entire life. So, like, for example, they're the bone cages. They have to swing.
I like that. That's logical.
They're rolling down.
That's logical.
That's like a crazy set piece.
I enjoyed that. That was great.
The wheel.
I
think the song on the soundtrack is called "The Wheel of Time," which is funny. Or no, it's called "Wheel of Fortune," I think, which is even funnier. It's like, it's so ludicrous, but it is
ludicrous.
Like something you would only see in a movie, and a fact that it's mostly all real. Like, they built multiple wheels for them to be in it for real life.
Why did they build multiple of them?
One has a track on it. One is connected to a machine.
It has a track and a machine that made it do that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then, of course, not just one, but two Kraken attacks.
Those were fine.
But, like, in my mind, all of these amazing set pieces, stuff you long for in movies.
I agree.
Is the stuff that, like if there's there's nothing worse in an action movie than a forgettable action sequence or bad action. And we have three guys fighting to the death on a wheel, spinning out of control, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Jack tumbles off. He falls in the grave. He's out of the fight. Guess what? No, he's back in the fight.
The fight itself was fine. I enjoyed the fight.
In the wheel. He's out of the wheel. No. It's all good. Okay. It's so good, in fact.
Okay. So the 3 of the 4. So that's like a C. That's good.
C. All right.
So 3 of the 4. I agree with you.
I'll take
3 of those 4. The wheel is stupid.
All right.
I understand that it's like only movie. It's only whatever, but it doesn't fit in the logic of the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So whatever. We can agree to disagree.
Because we have no other choice right now.
Yeah, that's true. Elizabeth's tirade during the 3-way sword fight is garbage. Whoever wrote that should get no Coke Zero for the rest of their life. That's not her character at all.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's one of the small little tiny moments. But then it gives her an excuse to go with the other two guys. They get their own little action moment.
Those guys are awesome. Those guys, I think, are my favorite part of this movie.
So I didn't bring it up last episode, but those two guys, and then there's the two British guys from the first movie. They're they're inspired by the old timey duo comedies like Abbott and Costello.
Those two in this, I didn't care for them much in the last one.
Right.
But they are fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, I love that it could have been easy just to not even include any of those crews, but I'm glad they're in this one.
I love how smart they are. When they're analyzing the 3-way fight, it's like this, and then I believe this, and
I think Norton's trying to recover some sort of dignity.
It's so good. I love those guys. I think they're my favorite part of this movie.
That chess must be worth a shiny penny. What did you say?
The temptation. Yes.
In a film class that I did in high school, we watched this, and the teacher had random questions based on the movie. And you know what the first question was? It was, what's the first character to die? The answer was the crow that Jack shoots off the coffin. That's what the teacher... He's like, technically, any living thing could be a character.
Oh my.
That was a true thing that happened to me. Okay, so the writers, even when they were making the first movie, when they were hypothetically thinking of a next one, though the ending point they knew they wanted to reach was Elizabeth killing Jack to save Will.
Okay.
They didn't know the ins and outs yet. And I think, for me, the biggest flaw that kind of puts a damper on this movie is it feels like it's not organic. It's like the created tension just because type of thing. Like, there could hypothetically have been a different setup than Will thinking Elizabeth loves Jack that still puts Elizabeth in the position where she wants to sacrifice Jack.
Right.
And I think that kind of puts a damper on it for me. It's like, yeah, this feels forced.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same complaint about the end, and like the setup for the next movie felt very forced.
With Barbosa?
With does she have a name? The witch lady?
Tia Dalma.
Tia Dalma?
Tia Dalma.
Okay. With her, like, would you really save? Would you do? What would you do? That was, anyhow. Whatever. That was a minor thing I wasn't going to bring up.
Here's some of my pros. I want to kind of speed run just some of the pros I wrote down.
Okay.
Hold on. Why did I say desert of the real crab? What did I mean? Oh, dessert of the real. We haven't done a dessert of the real in forever, but I said the dessert of the real could be when Bootstrap eats the crab.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Kind of funny. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, Skarsgård. Oh,
yeah,
my goodness,
good
what a performance.
Stuff. There's just a bunch of fun lines. What do I owe the pleasure of your carbuncle?
Yeah.
I think the exposition really gets you excited for Davy Jones before you see Davy Jones.
Yeah.
Like Gibbs talking in the boat as they're going down the river, talking about the Kraken and Davy Jones. Because Davy doesn't appear. I don't know how
he knows all that, but
it's all legend. It's all myth.
But he's very specific.
You get the impression he's been a sailor his entire life. I don't know.
That wasn't a problem really for me,
but like in like a hypothetical world, like we know what Davy Jones looks like, but if someone went in blind, it's like, what is this guy gonna be? And then a squid man is the answer. But you get excited before you see it. I thought of another con, because even though whatever, I've already said I love these movies. Part of me doesn't like the fact that Jack Sparrow became the captain of the Black Pearl because of a deal with Davy Jones. Like, so it's kind of cool. The Black Pearl is a ship that was resurrected from the bottoms of the ocean.
Right.
But like, if you just watched the first movie, would you ever get the impression that Jack Sparrow made a deal with Davy Jones to be a captain of this ship? No.
And that's a good argument for, if you make a perfect movie, stop.
This isn't the first time or the first trilogy that the first one was crazy successful and they made 2 and 3 back to back. We have Back to the Future, same thing happened. We have The Matrix, same thing happened. And I think both, or at least those 3 trilogy examples, kind of all have those same problems.
Yeah.
How do you retroactively make a standalone movie feel like an extended story?
Big enough to,
yeah. So it's fine. It's just...
Although the third Back to the Future isn't bad. I enjoy that one.
Yeah.
The second one was pretty...
But like, if you remember Back to the Future 2, it ends with like a montage of the next movie.
Right.
Which I think they should take out, by the way.
You can't go back and take out stuff.
No, but in the 80s, it was like they didn't know they were going to get it. Like, they needed people to be excited. Now we know there are 3 movies,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I love how Davy Jones and Jack Sparrow are like haggling over price.
Right.
One soul is not worth, or the souls are not equal to each other. And then Jack's like, oh, so we agree on the principle. We're just haggling over price. And it's like, Jack is still like this clever,
critical thinking
pirate, which I love so much.
I love that too. I love that.
Because his whole life, his whole thing is, he's in it for himself, but he knows how to find the angle to get out of stuff.
Yep.
It's like, you can't get out of this one. Like, wait.
Actually,
you said something that maybe I can get out of it.
maybe.
And here's something I didn't realize. His hat, how symbolic his hat is. So like his hat flies into the ocean, and everyone's like, "Get his hat back!" And like, "No, leave it!" And they look at him like he's like crazy. And he goes throughout the whole movie without a hat until the very, very end. It's not until he puts the hat back. He's now back to being Jack.
Hello, beastie.
Right. Not scared. Not unsure of things.
So it's a magic hat? Is that what you're saying?
It's just more symbolic.
Just a symbol of
completing
his Jackness.
Yeah. I love the music in this movie. I love the music in this movie. Better than the first movie. I might even like the next movie's music even better. But you got Davy Jones plays his organ. And it's not just this amazing thing. It's like just how he's playing it with his face.
Yeah.
It's so cool. In fact, okay, here's a fun thing that only a small portion of people would even care about. But I know this soundtrack so well because growing up, I didn't really listen to the radio except for whatever my parents listened to. I sometimes, more often than not, would listen to movie soundtracks more than anything other things. So I was very familiar with this soundtrack. But there's a part at the very end during the Kraken's attacking the Black Pearl, and Elizabeth is getting for the gun. Someone steps on it. Boom. Jack is there. Action shot. Then you have this music, and I'm like, that is not on the soundtrack. I would know if that was on the soundtrack because it's this amazing. It's the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. And my brother, I was talking to my brother. He's the one that actually showed me where it is. There is in existence somewhere an extended soundtrack you can listen to, and it comes from the score. It's just like Kraken Third Attack or something boring like that. But that's the only place it exists. It's not on the soundtrack. But my twin brother, he also did the same thing I did. He's like, wait, what is this song? And had to scour the internet. Because you can't Google what song is playing. As I say, it would tell you the Kraken theme. Like, it's not in the Kraken theme. Because I know that song. That score is not there. You know what? We're here. I'm just going to... This is an audio medium. But the point being... I needed to find it, and my brother, because we're twins and are a lot the same person, did the same exact journey we did. So that's not in any other movie. And it's, my brother was talking to me, it's the percussion and the strings playing together as opposed to what it usually sounds like. And that's an incredible hero theme for Jack, and it's so cool.
I agree.
And I didn't notice it, find it where it was.
Now I think that's awesome.
Other music moments that stand out, and I texted this one to you. I was wondering if you're going to find it, but the Kraken attack with Will on the boat. Yeah. They built, like, that's a real ship, by the way. They had these two giant pillars in real life filled with cement, and when the two tentacles come down, that's a real ship
that they really destroyed.
That's really cool. They add the people in later, obviously, but when the thing comes down, the organ music comes back in for the Kraken theme. Dun 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 dun. It is so cool. That's like a moment to be like, man, this movie. Let me raise a glass to it or something.
Cool. Yeah.
Anyway, the music's good is what I was really trying to say.
I don't know anything about it, so I can't be like, oh yeah. But
This movie has a bunch of detail in it. Like the ships, the costumes, the characters. In fact, one of Davy Jones's crew is conjoined twins. And it's like you won't even notice it, but I remember seeing the special features because they're twins in real life. They have to wear like the same big like CGI suit and they're just in the background. But there's just detail all over the place. You get hyper close-ups on stuff like the dice being rolled at first, the rain, drops of rain on the silverware, like during the wedding getting ruined at first. I think it's a good looking movie.
Yeah, I agree. The Kraken attacks look phenomenal. They look amazing. The only part of it that doesn't is the right at the end when Jack's like, "Hello, Beastie." You can tell that's a green screen, but at that point I didn't really. I mean, that's not a really big deal, but it did serve to highlight how amazing the whole rest of that attack looks. It all looks like it's actually going on, with the exception of that last little bit.
They shoot off the tentacles, then it comes back with a vengeance. It just breaks in the middle. Oh, there's so many good moments in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. My favorite scene in the movie is not an action scene. It's where right after, like when Norrington is getting ready to come on the Black Pearl with Jack and Elizabeth, and they're kind of arguing, and Norrington keeps popping in. He's like, "Are you agreeing with this guy? Do you believe this guy?" Was perfect comedic timing. That felt very organic. It was one of the moments that I'm like, oh, okay, this is the writing I was expecting.
Jack Sparrow, here to join my crew, lad. Welcome aboard. I'm here to find the man I love. I'm sorry, but my first and only love is the sea.
Some great lines. Beckett's a pretty good bad guy.
Okay, so I was wondering, wait. There's Davy Jones, embodiment of evil, kind of.
Sure.
But then Beckett is like, he's kind of making the movie work as serving as the secondary villain.
Right.
Because of the real life history of colonialism.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And he captures it really well. He does a good job. He's got some good lines. I'm afraid the currency of the realm is the currency.
Yeah. That's
a great line. Is this jar of dirt going to help? And the witch is like, if you don't want it, give it back. And he's like, no.
Did you know?
Good. That's so good.
I have a jar of dirt in my classroom.
I do know that.
A student gave me their senior announcement in the jar of dirt.
That's funny.
Which is funny.
I think my favorite line is Davy Jones saying, "I am the sea."
Yeah.
That's so powerful. Like his just, not his omnipotence, but his just omnipotence, his sense of himself, and my will is the sea's will, is so, like, it's just so, if like Darth Vader had said, "I am space," or whatever, it wouldn't, like, I don't know what's different, but that just, I don't know, like Bill Nye sells that. Like everything about who he is and his character sells that. I think that line is, I don't know. You can cut that.
No, you're right.
Like, it's just so, like, that's a absurd claim to make.
I am the sea.
But, like, I am like, yeah, you are the sea. Like, I was watching that. Yeah, I don't know. There were no survivors. That's another one.
Yeah.
There are no survivors. Anyhow. It's a good movie. It's just a flawed good movie.
The thing is,
some crappy writing at the start.
I am predicting you won't like the third one as much, but I think the true essence of this trilogy is this movie and At World's End are basically two halves of one extra long movie.
Yeah, I realized that when they did their little clumsy setup for the next movie at the end of this one. I realized we should have watched them together. You
really need to, and I really wanted to, but I'm like, I'll wait for the podcast.
But like an hour 45 into this, I was like, okay, like I think we can speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
okay, I got some lines. Actually, this is from a deleted scene. It's almost, this one they should have put in because it's kind of cool. At the very end, when the heart gets presented to Beckett, Norrington's like, "Want me to stab it?" It's like, I don't know. He says no. And then the what's it called? The ship, the Flying Dutchman, pops out of the water at Port Royale. And here's the fun thing you didn't see: Davy Jones takes his hat off. He's got a bandana under there, and it's weird to see, if we're being honest. But The thing is, though, it really the guy who was drawing the map in the background kind of completes a little arc for Beckett. He comes and goes, the map is complete. And then Beckett says, just the way I imagined it. Like, he's literally wanting to
conquer it all.
And so I guess that makes him like an interesting foil for Jack and Davy Jones. Davy Jones owns the sea. Beckett wants to own the sea too, and now he does.
Top of the sea or whatever.
Yeah. Now he's got David Jones's heart. But Jack also just wants to be a pirate forever.
Right. So I have to admit that I'm actually really interested in finding out like how is Beckett going to use Davy Jones. I'm very interested in that, and I hope it doesn't be some stupid thing.
I hope it isn't either.
Because he's a very good bad guy. They're both very good bad guys. So
there's a line that Jack says he sells Will Turner's soul to David Jones. He's like, let's go get 99 more people to die for me, basically.
Right.
But Jack says, I feel sullied and unusual. So, on one hand, David Jones just shook hands with him. It's all slimy and gross. Get rid of the black spot. But I also think he's got a twinge of guilt, too.
Yeah.
I feel sullied and unusual.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
He doesn't and it comes full circle when he chooses to come back and save everyone, because everyone who died on the Pearl, I think they were counting for souls for Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when they get the chest and Jack gets eaten, Davy Jones says,
"Debt is paid."
Yeah, your debt is paid. I guess that's maybe headcanon. I guess it's never said that exclusively.
Well, I mean, he's dead, so
yeah. No, that's it. It's weird that Jack's only two of these.
Resurrect. Yeah, right. I remember parts of the next one that I was like, "What on earth are you doing?"
It gets weird, and I love that it gets weird.
I like weird, but
it's like, Gore, just do whatever you want because you're making us money. He's like, got it. I'm going extra weird now. Okay.
Yes, we'll see.
This line reminded me of you. Why fight when you can negotiate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Using critical thinking.
Yep.
Jack is a great critical thinker.
He is. He's very, very intelligent with how he uses his mind.
I don't know how to fully explain it, because you didn't like this part, but for some reason I was really moved when Jack was sacrificing himself at the end.
I like the part. Just the green screen behind it. No, that was very compelling.
Hello, Beast. He knows he's gonna die. He knows there's no way out of it. He faces forward. He lunges forward. And I think it's never happened like this before, but I got kind of like, it hit me for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what we gotta do in life.
Yep.
We need to go forward.
Yeah.
Jump into the mouth of the beastie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. If they would have just stopped it there, it would have been at least a half a star higher for me, because that was a great ending. That's Jack showing his true colors finally. He's just like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the hat completes his thing, and I've written down Elizabeth's former dress gets lost in the ocean, and as it's sinking down, it's symbolically saying this part of Elizabeth has also died.
Yeah.
Will has his father's knife, which he's like messing with at the end of the table. Like he's always thinking about his father now. Like,
okay.
I
didn't understand that was his knife.
Jack's.
I was wondering
Will's
why he was
dad
doing that.
So yeah, it's one of the little things to kind of remind us what's in Will's head. He doesn't know what him and Elizabeth are emotionally, which is the bad part of this movie. But he also wants to save his dad.
Yeah.
Which is stuff on top of it. I don't know. I looked up what a dead man's chest was. The song was written for Treasure Island, believe it or not. And
Disney's original.
I think it's in the book.
The song?
I think
the Yo-Ho-Ho?
The 15 Man on a Dead Man's Chest. It's from Treasure Island.
So Stevenson wrote that.
People being marooned on an island. However, one source said it was just like a metaphor for just being in a difficult position type of thing.
All right, let's
Then we'll
do
get to
some
my
philosophy.
thing.
So this movie in terms of philosophy is kind of very pedantic because we have the idea of freedom, the idea of desire, like knowing what you want, and death. And there's really not much else philosophically here, but we get a really interesting panoply of ideas about those three things. So in terms of freedom, like what does it mean to be free is really cool. So is Beckett free? Like, he's got a lot of power. He can do a lot of things. His will is being manifest, but is he chained by his desire to control the seas, as you said? It's interesting interplay there. Jack, is he free? Even there's a line when Beckett's presenting the case to Will, kind of recruiting him to go get Jack. Will says, somehow I doubt Jack will consider employment the same as freedom.
Right.
Which is really interesting, because for me, that is freedom.
Right.
Like, my job gives me freedom. And so that part kind of really highlights that aspect of freedom. And then we've got, like, Elizabeth. So this is, when is this set? 1800 sometime.
Yeah.
This is very much before the suffragettes, very much before women were, like, I don't know, anything other than property functionally.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth has a massive amount of freedom in this movie, even though she's still kind of constrained to female roles. She has to hide who she is to do stuff, but compared to other women at this time period, she has massive amounts of freedom. And so she's our most unrestrained character, if we're socially speaking. And then, like, Bootstrap Bill, obviously is our other end. Like, he has no freedom whatsoever,
but he gets to live forever.
Right, there's that, and we'll tie the death in here in a second. He has no freedom from looking outside. He has no freedom at all. But within the constraints of where he is, he finds ways to exercise freedom. Like when he joins the Liar's Dice game, or Pirate's Dice game. That's him forcing himself to have some freedom there. When he bids 12 sixes or whatever it was, that's him doing that. Him taking the lash and beating Will, that's him, like, within functionally no freedom, he is forcing out and finding space to be free. And so we've got all of these very different scenarios within freedom, and we can see how freedom relates to desire here, because all Bootstrap Bill wants is for Will to be free, right? And so even though he has no freedom functionally whatsoever, he's the only person in this film that gets what he wants, which is really interesting. Well, I guess Beckett does. I guess that's not true. But we don't actually know really what Beckett wants, but we'll put Beckett aside for a second. So Bootstrap Bill, it doesn't matter how much freedom you feel like you have in your life, you can still exercise your will. You can still get what you desire. Because he's, I guess the guy that's frozen in the wall as part of the ship has less freedom, but other than that, Bootstrap Bill is the least free. And he's really the only one that gets what he wants. Jack dies. Elizabeth, at the end of this one anyway, we don't really know what she wants. We assume that it's marriage to Will. I think at the very end, she wants to make things right. Sure. But she doesn't get what she wants. Will obviously doesn't get what he wants. Davy Jones, with all the power that he has, does not get what he wants. So he loses. Right, he loses the most. And so this Norrington, we haven't even brought up Norrington. Oh yeah, go ahead. All he wants is to regain his honor, and at Elizabeth. The end, what? And Elizabeth. But who?
let's be honest, who doesn't? Am I right? I was in love with Keira Knightley when I saw this.
Yeah,
movie.
I'm sure almost everyone was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Norrington.
But he's the one that...
It's implied that he maybe does.
Well, he's the one that not only brings the paper, but the heart.
Right. So Norrington goes from a place of less freedom to a place of more freedom, but in doing so, he sacrifices what he wants.
Yeah.
Which is his honor.
That's
like, he completely sacrifices what he wanted to get what he wanted. Which is, again, super interesting. So Norrington kind of stabs all of his quote-unquote friends in the back and ends up losing what he wanted. He has no honor. He's the least honorable character in the movie by the end of this movie. But Jack, on the other hand, is routinely stabbing everyone in the back.
Yeah.
But by the end of this movie, I guess he didn't choose to sacrifice himself, but he did row back, and so that's a great foil in terms of freedom and desire, putting Norrington and Jack together,
because that's when the compass doesn't work for Jack. But I love that that's the moment where it started to work for him. Do I want to go to the island by myself, or do I want to go back and save them, or do something?
Yeah. And so the way that we usually think of as freedom, like, we want freedom, whatever.
Yeah.
Freedom does not, according to this movie anyway, does not equate getting what you want. It does not equate having the power even to get what you want.
Yeah.
Those are not necessarily related to each other.
Yeah.
Getting what you want is more a function of how much do you want it, and what are you willing to sacrifice? Because Bootstrap got what he wanted. He sacrificed all of eternity, I guess, to get it.
You get maybe a comparable metaphor is someone in jail or prison, but still having able to make choices in the jail.
Yeah, or like Viktor Frankl is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Because he was in the Nazi prison camp, but he was mentally completely free. Like, he was, I don't know if he says he was happy, but he found meaning in everything that was going on, and that he was able to emerge psychologically whole from that camp. And so I feel like pushing off, I don't have what I want because I don't have the freedom to get it, is kind of BS according to this movie, and I guess in my own experience as well. It's about seizing it.
Yeah.
And what are you willing to sacrifice? So I know for this upcoming generation, it's kind of chic to blame fill in the blank for why I can't fill in the blank. But that's self-defeating. Like, of course you can't.
Yeah.
Because you're not accepting the power that you have. You're not willing to exercise the power that you have to change your situation. So, of course, you're going to stay right there.
In real life, we have to face the Becketts. So I think, though, the one line I quoted from the deleted scene is maybe the key to what he really wants. He wants the world, but his way specific.
Sure.
Like, the map's completed just the way I imagined it. There are people who have the means, have the resources, and the money to do things because they think that's how life should be. As teachers, we do have to face sometimes legal policies that are just...
that were written by people that are not educators.
Right, because they're written by people like Beckett. The world should be like this.
Yep.
And it's like, well, that makes it hard to do our job.
So philosophically, I'll expose myself here. The way that the world gets changed into the way that we want it is not passing laws. Laws don't change how people think. You can pass as many laws against racism as you want. That's not going to change the world, because if I'm a racist and you pass a law that says I can't be racist, I'm going to find other ways to be racist, and maybe even more so, because I'm like, you think you can tell me what to do? Screw you, I'm going to do it this way. So all I'm saying is, I mean, it fits with this idea of freedom and desire. We have power.
Yeah.
Our society that we live in does its best to convince us that we don't.
Yeah.
Because our society that we live in wants us to be, for example, consumers of the crap that they make.
Yeah.
We don't have any power other than to spend our money on whatever it is they want us. That's bullcrap. We have a ton of power. And as soon as everybody, Bug's Life quote, or Bug's Life paraphrase, as soon as everyone figures out that they have the power to change the sphere that they're in, everything changes.
Yeah.
But we live in a society that's dead set on convincing us we have no power at all.
In the movie, they're pirates, and pirates, historically, bad.
Sure.
But in the movie, they represent the strive for, like, freedom. Living the way you want to live.
Yep.
Like, against, like, finding your own power, I suppose.
Yeah, true.
I love that. Like, Dietz, you say so many good things on this podcast.
Thanks, Ryan. And then the other more brief philosophical thing this movie deals with is death.
Okay.
The great unknown, whatever. Most philosophers, I think, have, especially since, the Renaissance, are of the opinion that we just out of existence or whatever, which makes death terrifying. In this movie, we have a couple of different approaches of it. So, like Jack, at the end, when he's like, "Hello, beastie," and he goes, "Do not go gently into that good night."
Yeah.
He's going to die, but he kind of embraces it as the end of a life well lived, maybe. And then we have, like, philosophically, my favorite part of this movie is right at the start when Davy Jones gets on some ship and he's got the sailors lined out in front of him, and he's like, "Do you fear death?"
Yeah.
And that whole conversation that he has there with those people is philosophically magnificent. Would you choose to die and or are you so afraid of death that you'd be willing to, 100 years?
100 years.
Spend 100 years before the mast is really interesting. So to kind of tie this back in, I think the most free and powerful way to be living our lives is to live in such a way that if that was the question that we were asked, we're ready. Ooh. Like, I have lived my life the way that, to the fullest. I've used my talents. I've helped all of these people. I've acquired these knowledges. whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
I feel like our answer to Davy Jones should always be, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm not going to give up my freedom. I'm ready.
Live your life. So if Davy Jones asks you, would you... But, like, I then feel guilty about how much time I waste, Is it fine just to throw away everything and go live life until...
So what I think I'm saying is live life.
Yeah. You're right. And I agree. But I have also spent too much time on my phone.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this year, for the school year, I bought a box of nails.
Yeah?
I'm willing to give a free nail to anyone that will put it through their phone.
Wow, I don't know if parents are going to like that.
Well, I think we're getting to the point that, like, we've got to do something extreme because apparently we don't learn.
I think. Yeah.
And in fairness, I'm reading a book called The Anxious Generation, which is
that good?
Fantastic, and I would recommend it to anyone.
It's on my list.
But it's frankly terrifying, because the premise of the book is that we were not and are not evolutionarily prepared for cell phones.
Yeah.
Like, we had no defense specifically against social media and the algorithms of getting you to invest more and more in time. We don't have any defense. And so when you are confronted with something that is, one, imminently damaging, and two, that you literally cannot defend yourself against, what are you going to do? So this movie gives us a good answer. Jack cannot defend himself against the Kraken. What did he do?
Oh, he runs
But he
away.
spends the whole movie
That's what you mean.
getting as far away from this thing that's going to destroy him that he can't defend himself against. He spends the whole movie getting away from it.
Yeah.
Why do we still have Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok on our phones? We know for 100% fact. This was not a part of what I planned, but I'll be done. 100% fact that is damaging us, potentially permanently, but it's certainly damaging us momentarily. To be one, even if all you ever do is just scroll the whatever reels for an hour or two every day. That's damaging to you. But what most people, and especially 13 to 18 people, are doing is much worse than that. Like, they are forming their sense of themselves based on what they see in these 3-second little things. They can't measure up. They're never going to be like that because it's all fake. It's made up, and we know that intellectually, but subconsciously we don't. We are comparing ourselves to fictional characters on our screens, and it's not just one, and it's not just 10, and it's not even just 100, but all we see as we scroll up through all of these beautiful people doing all these things is, that's not me, I'm worse than that. How long can you scroll like that and still expect to have a strong sense of yourself and your power? I don't think you can scroll very long. And so I realize I'm old. I'm almost 50. I don't understand how the social interactions, whatever. Great. But we are at a point now where we know for a fact these things are damaging us. And they're not regulated. There is no regulation whatsoever on the biggest attack on our psychology ever in the history of the world. No one's doing anything about it. So the only person that can do something about it, dear listener and dear Ryan, is you. You are the only one that can do anything about it to protect yourself. And the only way to do it, as far as I can tell, is the same way Jack did it in this movie. So,
run away.
End of tirade. Run away. Preserve your freedom. Preserve your power by running away.
Get yourself out.
The end. I'm done.
A digital kraken will come and get
The
you.
digital kraken is always every time you open a friggin' social media.
That's true.
Digital kraken. Destroying your psychological black pearl. Anyhow, that was not even part of it. But
No, but hey, we're about to start the school year.
I hate.
To be reminded.
Oh, you can add that to my hate list.
Social
media is probably right under bureaucrats.
There's a teacher that's putting together a hate list of things Jeet says he hates.
Which is weird because I don't feel like I hate much. But apparently I do.
It's not that you hate. It's just the things you hate so much.
Completely.
Yeah.
So I don't have a...
So the other day we went out to lunch and you were on a tirade against Twilight.
Yes.
So that was kind of maybe where it stemmed.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought this might be a little interesting, and it ties in so the East India Trading Company was a real life thing.
Yep.
That really happened.
Yep.
But they controlled India.
Mm-hmm.
I got this from the internet. Just some background.
Cool.
Because even though they're like the main guys in these movies, or these Becketts here, maybe we don't know all these histories all the time. The British East India Company, established in 1600, began as a trading venture but evolved into a powerful entity that exerted significant political and military control over vast territories in India. Initially focused on the spice trade, it expanded its operation to include textiles, tea, and other goods, eventually becoming the dominant force of the region. The company's growing power and influence led to its involvement in Indian politics and its eventual assumption of territorial control, particularly after the Battle of Plassey in 1757. So we're already 157 years since it started.
Right.
Complete control. The company's rule in India ended in 1874, with the British Crown assuming direct control after the Indian Rebellion of 1857. So these people, this army, were bigger than the British Army. They were essentially a government controlling India.
Yeah, crazy.
All under the guise of a trading company. They were the reason the Opium Wars happened. They also dealt in slave trade. They were insanely powerful and did not give up power when they were disbanded. British still controlled India afterwards until the when was Gandhi? Like 1940s? Anyway, it
crazy.
Like, crazy. Like,
we had one last century too. Did you know that?
Last century. Wait.
The bananas.
Oh, yes. You told me about the banana.
It's so bizarre.
The Banana Republic, named after a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah.
Not just fancy clothes.
No, not at all. Yeah. Bananas were so big that the corporations, like at one point, according to the book that I read, 96, I think, percent of Nicaragua was owned or was controlled by banana companies. And when you're that big, like you said with the East India Trading Company, you're the de facto government. And they did some horrible, horrible things. Like, it goes back to something I said earlier. I don't understand money as a motivating force for, like, doing these atrocious things to other people. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just to amass wealth for what? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. If you have money more than you need, it seems to me like you should find ways to make other people's lives better rather than piling it up in the corner. I mean, the game. I've owned a couple of businesses, and the game of making money is very addictive, and so I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, look around you in your sphere. To come back to the spheres, find ways to make other people's lives better with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was also not a part of this. But it does tie into pirates. Like, pirates are just amassing wealth.
Yeah.
They don't spend it. They go to an island and it's buried there and they just have it. Like, for what reason? Oh, it's just
so
buried on an island.
In Cutthroat Island, I mean, I guess to give away, they get a lot of treasure. And Gina Davis is like, it's all ours. You could take your half, or we can keep sailing and get more.
I cannot imagine Gina Davis as a pirate.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. Is the answer.
She's so kind and like she always. Anyhow,
it's on Amazon if you want to watch it.
I might.
You watch it and be like, I get it. This is great, but also terrible at the same time.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Anyway, so okay, I was trying to find an angle to this movie. I was like, last week we talked about how everything was a point of leverage. And I'm like, this movie, everything, it's like a key. They're all after this key. Everyone's becoming unlocked. Some things are literal, some things are paper. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but I wanted something else. And I found something else.
Cool.
There's a deleted scene. Sorry to dive into the deleted scenes. But when they're on the island where the chest is buried, there's a deleted scene with Elizabeth and Norrington, and they see the church up on the hill that eventually has that amazing wheel fight that we all loved. And the Norrington says there were people here, and Elizabeth said, no, I've heard rumors about this island. People came here to settle, but they all got sick, and the priest had to bury the people one by one until he was all by himself. Then he hung himself in the tower. And in the deleted scene, there's also, you see a dead body confirming that would have been true, or whatever. But Norrington says this: better mad with the rest of the world than wise alone. And I'm like, this has got to be a quote. So I Googled it. It's by an old Spanish author, Baltasar Gracian. Baltasar Gracian.
Cool.
It might not be accurate, but we'll go with that. So, Baltasar Gracian, he was born 1601, died 1658 in Spain. He was a Spanish Jesuit priest and Baroque prose writer and philosopher. And he is credited as being one of the main guys to come up with the concept of, well, it's called conceptismo in Spanish. Or, in other words, conceptism and conceptismo. This is what I wanted to use as my lens today, Deets.
Okay.
I keep finding these ones. I'm trying to find
ones. I've never heard of that in my life.
So, conceptismo is in Spanish literature, a style that cultivated essayists in the 1600s. It's characterized by its use of striking metaphors expressed either concisely and epigrammatically or elaborated into lengthy conceits. So, I'm going to do my best to interpret that and use conceptism as a lens for this movie.
Cool.
As best I can. So, just to dive a little bit more, because I'm reading...
None of us know anything about it, so whatever you do, we're going to assume is correct conceptismo.
It's concerned primarily with the stripping off of appearances in a witty manner. Conceptismo finds its best expression in the satirical essay. So it's literally about being witty and creative with your words. And I think it's implying to say two things at the same time type of thing with metaphors. Okay, so to the best sum up in my limited ability, because it's a new concept for me, conceptism focuses on dense, layered meaning, quick shifts in logic, sharp wordplay, and intellectual wit, often packing multiple associations into a single image or idea. So compressed ideas, unexpected connections. So you embrace contradictions rather than resolving them.
Okay.
This is all under this idea of conceptism or conceptismo. Moral ambiguities wrapped in clever rhetoric. So it's wordplay is the best way to summarize it.
There we go. I'm just still swimming over
I know.
here, so.
I'm not an expert in this, but I was like, I gotta try to use it. So if I was to attempt to use it to this movie as a lens, Jack Sparrow would, I think, uses conceptism like in all of his conversations. So like the first conversation, did you get what you're looking after? Yes, I got this. A key? No, even better. A drawing of a key. So I think a good use of conceptism is Jack Sparrow playing these verbal word games with people.
Yeah. I think he ends up just playing them with himself, which is even, I think, more interesting. Because the people frequently are like, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess, let's see.
Just amusing himself by running circles around.
I think that's maybe why the character does it, but as a movie you're watching it, you're noticing maybe things have double meanings.
Yeah, for sure.
Or, you know, that's conceptismo, which I think we should say instead of conceptism. Conceptism, maybe.
Conceptismo.
Yeah, that's probably the best way. Here's the one that I'm happy about, though. Davy Jones's heart is like layered. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
It's a literal heart. It's the MacGuffin. It's a bargaining chip.
It's freedom.
It's freedom.
It's power.
It's emotional vulnerability.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think, if I'm understanding right, that is conceptismo. Conceptism.
So that's the heart of conceptismo.
Like, how can you turn something into more than one thing with wordplay, or make it, I guess, multi-layered?
Cool.
Yeah, like a dense network, verbal, visual, and narrative conceits. Here's the one I was probably looking for. Every key object, line, and action is compressed with multiple meanings, often contradictory, and the audience's delight comes from unpacking the wit embedded in the words.
So then the best example of this would be Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest.
Yeah.
That's the best example I can think of.
Where everything has like a multiple.
Every single line.
So that's conceptism.
Oh,
the thing is, it was just kind of these writers in Spain for a while. It's like, look at these guys
doing
with their
awesome
silly
things.
That's and
cool.
it's kind of died down, or at least has bled into different areas, I think. I didn't finish the Britannica article, but
that's cool.
It came from the Baroque era of art and writing, though, so that's kind of
that is very cool.
one of the things. But conceptismo does sound fun, more fun to say than conceptism. So
yeah, it's even more fun if you say it with a Spanish accent.
Conceptismo.
Conceptismo. No, it's conceptismo.
Conceptismo. All right. Did you see Bootstraps? Not Boot. Did you see Barbossa's boots in Tia Dalma's house?
No.
You see them 2 times when they visit the first time.
Oh, cool.
But it's like we don't see it.
Like, how would you know they were his?
I don't know. The monkey runs to them, and the monkey's touching them.
Yeah, I didn't know. It didn't register at all.
I think this is it's like a final couple thoughts. There's one of the crew guys, his head gets knocked off and his head turns into a crab. I think that's a great example of world building in a way where it's like, hey, this can happen.
Yeah.
And it's like the last movie, Gore Verbinski just kind of does little things here and there to expand the world.
Right.
Like you'll see a little boy fishing and the camera's just on him for a while. Here it's just one of their heads get knocked off and they get turned into a crab.
Yeah, I very much preferred the subtlety of Black Pearl, but you're right. I mean, it does build the world. And
yeah.
I do like that it leaves unanswered how do the bodies of Davy Jones's sailors pick the forms that they end up in.
That's a great question.
And I think I hope it remains unanswered because, like, for me, maybe it's a manifestation of their inner self or whatever. That's kind of how I was reading them.
You know what? I like that. I'm going to adopt that.
And so then Bootstrap I guess maybe he hasn't been there as long.
I think that's the implication.
But he's still very much himself, very much a caring, loving person, at least towards his son, I guess. So I don't know if he comes back in the next movie, but it'll be interesting to see if that manifests any further.
It's like when you look at Bootstrap, it's like, oh, maybe did they just have things grow on them? But no, there's a shark man.
Right.
There's a pufferfish guy.
There's a hammerhead guy.
Yeah, he's the coolest looking one in my opinion.
So it's interesting. I like that stuff also. Just all the detail.
Yep. I love the detail. And in fact, I think the movies not directed by Gore Verbinski suffer because they lack some of that detail. But then again, you could also look at The Lone Ranger, which Disney was like, here you go, make us another Pirates movie with different characters and stuff. And he definitely does things similar to the Pirates movies.
Not well.
But not the same result.
I don't know why on earth Johnny Depp ended up being Tonto.
I think a lot of people wonder that.
That was probably the worst casting decision ever.
Oh, because he's not a Native American?
Among a lot of other things.
He's a
I was trying to think of a Johnny Depp movie that I didn't like. That's the one.
I can't lie, I do kind of like that movie.
I mean, it's fun, but it's not fun.
What if you look at, like, go back and watch Lone Ranger. It's not on Disney Plus. You have to find it other ways, but
they hid it, huh? That's funny.
The whole train chase is some of the most incredible stunt action things you could ever see.
Sure.
But if you go back to these movies, you're like, yeah, look at the stuff in this. Like, there's the wheel thing Dean doesn't like for some reason.
Logic.
all the set pieces we already talked about. It's like, yeah, this guy knows how to make something feel as exciting as it probably could ever feel.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch At World's End with you.
I'm less excited than you are.
Yeah, that's fair. But we'll do a Jason's Choice and then finish off Pirates 4 and 5 after that.
Yeah.
And then...
So just a heads up for our listening audience, over the next little bit, the release days and times may be more sporadic than usual because some of our hosts in this podcast have purchased a house that requires a lot of elbow grease. So so just be prepared if you're used to them showing up Thursday morning. We apologize.
Yeah. Work is also starting.
And we start teaching on Monday, so we'll do our best to maintain our release schedule, but I'm almost 100% positive that we will not, but we'll get as close to it as we can.
A little shaky for a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you give Dead Man's Chest out of 5 stars?
I think 3. 3?
Dang, you're a harsh critic.
You gave it 3.5, so...
I did?
Yeah.
I'm bumping that up.
No, I feel like 3 is fair.
4.5.
The writing in the first half is not that good.
I'm excited to see what you have
What
to
I
say.
object to.
We love you.
We do love you. Thanks for listening. Seize your power. Recognize your power. Use it to make your life better and the lives of those around you better in your sphere. That's what I say out of this movie.
Think critically.
Also, I agree. Love ya. Bye.
Bye.